So today I'm going to be making a minestra, which is, what it means is a mix of all vegetables. And that means you could put any green vegetable that you like, usually greens, like collard greens, kale, I have fennel, I have broccoli, I have cauliflower, and I have spinach. I'm going to need a few potatoes and garlic, and then I have my favorite beans with the juice I'm going to use today, and I have diced tomatoes. And what will happen is I'm going to saute the garlic and the potatoes first, and then I will start adding one vegetable at a time, and it will cook for maybe a couple hours, and by that time it'll be so condensed that we may get maybe 3 or 4 servings out of all this, because it cooks down and it's delicious and it's got lots of iron in it. And I use olive oil to saute, salt, pepper, oregano, and I'll put in some red hot chili flakes or pepperoncino. So I'm going to get started by peeling the potatoes and cutting up the garlic, and then I'll show you how that is, and we'll continue. So I'm heating up the oil right now, and then I'm going to place all the potatoes in, and then once they're cooked as much as I like them to be, I put in the garlic, and then I'll start adding the veggies. The ones that need to be cooked longer will go in first. I don't know if I told you, but if you can't find collard greens that are fresh, then you just get the frozen. They're very good. The frozen vegetables are excellent for this also. And it probably is much easier because you don't have to wash it. It's already cleaned and everything. And I have spinach, chopped collard greens that are frozen. And I have fresh kale and fresh spinach, which I'll rinse, and fresh broccoli and cauliflower cut up into small pieces. So far, in between takes, I have been placing some of the vegetables in, like the collard greens and the kale is in there, but I removed a lot of the stems. As you can see here, these are not really edible, so you have to really just pick them out because they're really hard to chew and everything. So I'm going to get rid of those. And now in between each layer, the collard green and the kale, I'm going to add a lot of oregano, about 2 tablespoons, some black pepper. It's a lot of vegetables, so you need a lot of this stuff. Salt. I used garlic powder, because garlic is great in this. And I used the pepperoncino. And now we'll put some olive oil just to give it flavor and it doesn't dry out. And I will also add some diced tomatoes. And that's still cooking. I still have a lot of vegetables to put in. So looking in the pot, this is what I have right now. That's just slowly cooking. Like I said, is potatoes, garlic, kale, collard greens, and half of the can of tomatoes, a little olive oil, and the seasonings. I've just added the spinach. As you can see, there's a whole bunch here, but that'll cook down to almost nothing. So now I'll put the broccoli and the cauliflower. I'll wash them and florette them to small bite pieces. So here's the fresh broccoli, washed and cleaned, and the stems. I use some of the stems too, but I peel them. Makes it easier to chew on. And the cauliflower is in here, as you can see. And This person that I'm making it for loves broccoli, so I added extra broccoli. As you can see, this pot is getting very full, so I may have more than 4 servings here. Misjudged. At this point, I'm going to add all the tomatoes. Also, I use the fennel, the top part of the fennel. I don't know if you know what it is. It's called the finocchio. And you use the top part for flavor. It's really good. And now I'll add all the seasonings again with a little oil. And that should be it. And it just has to cook for a long time. So this is the fennel I was talking about. We called it finocchio. So you take the little ends. You could even freeze this. I do. So in case I don't have it next time, I have it in the freezer at all times. And you just take the ends and use them. They're great for salad too. When you make a fennel salad with the fennel leaves, it's really good. So the only thing left to put in is the beans with the juice and a little bit more fennel. And I'm going to cover it and just let it simmer for a long time. So this is how it looks inside the pot as it is at this moment, which is the beginnings of it. It's well coated with olive oil. You see the tomatoes. So when you mix it, try to bring up some of the cooked bottom pieces to the top and let the top ones go to the bottom. And now I'll just cover it and let it simmer for a few hours. I'll let you know when I put the beans in. At this point, it's been an hour and it's simmering away, and you could see how it's cooked down quite a bit. And I've just added the beans with all the juice and water that is in there for flavor. And now it's going to cook another hour, hour and a half. So here is the finished minestra, all ready to go. I've separated it. I'm going to freeze one, and I'm going to give the rest away, and I'm having one for dinner. It's always good to put a little Parmesan cheese on top before you eat it and serve it while it's hot. It's so good and so good for you for a winter's day.